Today we are back with another installment in a little series I like to call things I was influenced to buy that are actually good. You know, I do a lot of videos about de-influencing, things that I've been influenced to buy that I don't love, but these are things that I actually do, things that worked out, a little more of a positive spin. So this is gonna be a rundown of kind of like my current favorites, if you will. There are gonna be fashion items, beauty, lifestyle, books, TV shows, games, literally everything in between. And as always, everything that is available in this video, I will link in the description box below in case you're interested in it. But yeah, I stand 10 toes down behind these products and I have a lot to cover. You know how I love to yap in these videos. Make sure you grab a snack, grab yourself a little drink, kick your feet up, make yourself comfortable, enjoy your lunch break, whatever it is you're doing. And let's go ahead and jump into the products that I was influenced to buy that I actually kind of love. Real quick before I get started, I want to say a big thanks to the sponsor of today's video, which is SeatGeek. I had surgery recently. I am like desperate to get out of the house. Drew's birthday is coming up in a couple of months around the same time that Billie Eilish is coming to town. So I have been all over SeatGeek trying to find the best deals on tickets. I've used them before and love them. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, everything from festivals, concerts, sports events. Right now you can get tickets to Gracie Abrams, to Lorde, to Lady Gaga. I love using SeatGeek. I've used them in the past to see bleachers. I'm really excited to check out some concerts once I'm feeling better and I'm finally out of the house. SeatGeek has your back. They have a rating system from 1 to 10 so you can know that you're getting some good seats. So the green dots mean good and the red dots mean bad. So make sure you check for those green dots. Plus every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And if you want to get 10% off your next set of tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my code Carrie10. Get out of the house before the summer ends. Join me. And that's 10% off tickets using the promo code Carrie10. Make sure you click my link in the description box below to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. And thanks so much again to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. All right, so first off in the fashion category, I thought I would start off with like probably the #1 thing that I was influenced to buy. And it's funny because back in a recent trends I'll not be buying video, I talked about the Fry campus boots. And I did purchase them out of curiosity because I saw they had wide calf ones. There was a whole hullabaloo, if you will, on TikTok about the Fry boots and like there were dupes that had come out and people were really upset about the dupes. Listen, I have wide calves and the wide calf Fry boots were not wide enough for my calves. So I decided to look elsewhere and find like a cute little boot for fall that's like inspired, but doesn't have to be, you know, $400. So I did manage to find a pretty decent dupe on Amazon that I saw, I think someone talked about on Instagram Reel. And spoiler alert, I bought them in 2 colors. So yeah, this has been something that I've been testing out for like a couple of months now and I really do like these. I will say they're just wide enough for me. So they're not like I have a ton of room and I'm swimming around in these, but I feel like they're just wide enough and that's all I can ask for at this point. So I can't verify that they are like extra wide calf friendly. I'll include the circumference of my calves on screen and these do fit me with that sized calf. So yeah, honestly, getting 2 pairs for literally like a quarter of the price of 1 pair of Fry boots is worth it in my opinion, but I know everyone has like their different thoughts about that. I really wanted to avoid this trend at all costs, but I've just seen so many cute outfits with like a little white sundress and like the mustard colored boots or like something for the fall with the brown colored boots. So I decided to go for it and I don't regret it. I really do like those and I do recommend them. The next thing I wanted to talk about is a pair of shorts and you guys know, I'm always on the hunt for the perfect pair of denim shorts for summer. And I managed to find this pair from Old Navy. I think these are just called the high-rise baggy shorts. I got these in 2 different sizes. I got them in my usual size, which is 16, and then I got them in a size up, which is an 18, because sometimes you just want that like hangs off your hips, really sort of baggy feel. And I love these. I feel like they're just long enough for me. They probably have like a 3.5 inch inseam, I would say. I can walk around in these. I feel comfortable in them. They're not too tight around my waist. They're just the perfect denim shorts for me. They are kind of like a rigid denim, but they're soft. Do you see how I'm able to just like bunch them up like this? They're not a super thick rigid denim, which I know some people look for, but I don't. I like it to be like a little more, I don't know, just movable. And so these are my favorite denim shorts of the summer, really the only ones that I've worn this summer so far. I am keeping my fingers crossed that they end up coming out with more colors because I'd love like a more kind of dark wash, but so far they only have a wash lighter than this kind of mid wash, and then a railroad stripe, but I will keep an eye out and of course I'll link these down below, but these are great. Next up for a few beauty items, starting off with a little hair stick, if you will. This is called the TG Bedhead Hair Stick for Cool People. And this is essentially just a stick of wax that you use. Okay, there's hair on it. That's disgusting. You use this for slicking your hair down for like a little slick back look. And I can never really get my hair super slick, but this does help a lot. Sometimes I use like a styling cream, but sometimes this thing really gets the job done. So you kind of just like run it along your hair. It does hurt a little bit. Be careful, don't like do it too hard, but I think they make dupes of this as well, but this is the one that I use, and I've had this for probably, God, I want to say like at least 2 years now, maybe 3. And it really works so well. So you just kind of like slick it on your hair, and then you take your fine tooth comb or brush and you kind of like slick it down, and it works really well. And also it's good for flyaways if you want to just kind of like dab it on the top of your hair. I have crazy flyaways all the time, so honestly I should probably start using this for that a little bit more, but I really like this. I've always liked this brand. It doesn't have like the best smell. It sort of has like a very light sort of spa herbal smell, but nothing crazy, so it's not overwhelming, and I really like it. This is definitely something that I saw a lot of people talk about that I wasn't sure about. I bought it and I was like, I don't really know about it, and now 2-3 years later, I'm in love with it. For a couple of makeup items, this one took me by surprise because I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about it, but I saw everybody using these sort of like magical lip stains. This product that goes on a really dark color, and then you either peel or wipe it off, and then you have this beautiful stain underneath. And so I was like, okay, I've got to test this out. So the one that I got is called Wonder Skin, and this lip tint is the #1 most used thing in my makeup bag at the moment. I got the shade Romance. It's just this really gnarly dark purple blue color, and you just put it on your lips, you leave it on for a few minutes. I've left it for as little as like a minute or two, up to like 10 minutes, and then you just wipe it off and you have this beautiful stain underneath, and I love it. I can't wait to get it in more colors. I really do think it's one of those things that is hyped, but it's worth the hype, and it lasts too. That's the thing. If you leave it on for a while, it will last throughout the day. Maybe not like for 12 hours or anything like that, but I have found that it really does last on me, and I'm like a frequent chapstick over top user, so this is just called the All Day Lip Stain, and they have so many beautiful colors. I really like the Romance one. It's that sort of just ate a popsicle kind of look for summer, and it's gorgeous. Next up, this is again something that I was super influenced to buy by other people using it in like their makeup routine videos, and I was like, okay, I need to know about this because I am all about a quick and easy makeup routine. I wear these sort of like DIY false lashes at home, and I change them out like twice a week, once or twice a week, and I also have my eyebrows microbladed, so I really just love to do like some sort of foundation product, some sort of like powder blush bronzer combo, and some brow gel and some lip stain, and like leave. And anything that makes that easier for me is the best. And so this to me feels like a combo of a concealer foundation all in one, and this is the Merit foundation stick. I'm in the color Sandstone, and this thing is actually worth the hype. The thing that I was nervous about is I'm like an oily skin kind of gal, so I was like, okay, something like a stick product for my oily skin just sounds like a nightmare, but it hasn't broken me out at all. It actually stays in place. It dries down very matte, but if you wear it on its own, it doesn't look super flat. You know what I mean? I just honestly love this. Like, this is a new discovery for me. It's not often that I discover a face product that I'm like full on obsessed with, but I really like this one, and honestly would recommend it. Even since posting about it in vlogs, I've had friends reach out to me, fellow creators, like DM me, be like, oh my god, I love the Merit foundation stick, and I'm like, same. It's literally so good. It is one of those things that is a little bit pricey for a face product, but it is so worth it in my opinion, and I will definitely be repurchasing it. I love it so much. I saw someone talking about this specific eyeliner, and I think they were using maybe like a black, so for sort of a smoky eye, but then I saw when I was looking on Sephora that there is like a kind of like burgundy color, and I was like, okay, we're going for it. So this is the Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes Longwear Gel Eyeliner, and I got this in the shade Compassion, which again is this kind of like purpley burgundy shade. It's so pretty, especially if you have blue eyes, and I don't often wear eyeliner that much anymore. I mean, occasionally when I'm filming and stuff like that, but when I'm in the mood for eyeliner but I don't want to do my sort of full cat eye black eyeliner look, this is a great option. And I just kind of take a little bit of it and put it on the end of an eyeshadow brush and like flick it out at the edges, and it's so pretty. And every time I wear this I get questions about it, and it is in fact Rare Beauty. It's so nice. It's really easy to apply. The formula is really good. It lasts all day. What can I say? I do love it as like a little alternative from time to time. For a self-tanner recommendation, this is actually something that I think you guys told me about, like maybe way back in the day. I want to say I asked on Instagram and a lot of you guys recommended this, and this is called the B-Tan Tanned AF Darkest 1 Hour Self-Tan Mousse. I actually got this in a 2-pack from Costco. I saw it at Costco and I was like, oh wait, people had like recommended that in the past, let me try it. And I actually really like it. I do have it on right now. I just put it on last night, so this is kind of like a fresh 1-layer coat for me. It doesn't have a horrible smell. It does have a little bit of that fake tan smell when it develops. You can't really avoid that, but I really like this because you don't have to wear it for a super long time, and the longer you wear it, the darker it gets. And also it doesn't have a super dark guide color. Like a lot of the really super dark fake tanners that I use have this insanely dark guide color, and then it's getting all over your sheets and all over your clothes, and I feel like this is a lot better. It does take a little bit longer to dry down, but I like it for a really affordable fake tan recommendation. Like I would put this in the drugstore pricing category. Like I said, I got mine at Costco, but I think they have them everywhere, and other people have recommended, I think, the purple bottle, so I might have to try that next. But this is really nice. I really like it a lot, and I would definitely recommend it. And also the mitt that comes with it, or at least that I got with it, was really good as well. So big fan of this one. Next, for a fragrance, the one that I have been really liking lately, besides my Lake and Sky 1111 that I talked about in another influenced favorites video, this is a really close second, and this is the Glossier You Do, I think. They came out with 2 new Glossier You perfumes. I was a big fan of the original one, and then for whatever reason, it just kind of turned on me after a while. I talked about that. But I tried this one out when I was shopping in Sephora with one of my nieces, and I was like, wait, this smells so good. This to me is much more of like a me scent than the original Glossier You. The Glossier You has that kind of perfumey scent, but this to me is a little bit warmer, a little bit cozier. It's got more notes of vanilla and things like that, and I really like this one. Like it smells so good to me. But yeah, I really actually like this one, and this has kind of been like my daily perfume lately. Really good. All right, next for a couple of lifestyle favorites. I was influenced to buy this butter yellow Simple Modern tumbler because it's just the cutest color ever. I saw someone post about it and I was like, oh my god, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen, and I need it. Do I need it? No, but it brings me joy, and I really like it, and I use it every freaking day. I mean, I alternate between a couple different ones and then I put them in the dishwasher, but it is just the cutest butter yellow color, especially when I'm wearing things that have a pop of red. I just love red and butter yellow together. It's just so cute. It's a pretty affordable cup when you compare it to things like Hydro Jug, Stanley Cup, Awala, things like that, but it works really well. I actually did a testing out popular influencer product dupes video a couple of years ago, and I tested this against the Stanley Cup, and this actually kept the water a little bit colder. So Drew had one in black. He used it all the time. I was like, let me get a butter yellow one. It's just so cute. That's it. I just fell victim to the cute color. Okay, whatever. I love butter yellow, so sue me. The next thing is like not very cute or trendy. It's just something that I think I saw someone talk about one time on maybe back when I had TikTok, and they were like, hey, if you have a deviated septum, you should try sleeping with nose strips. And I was like, why have I never thought of that before? I've had a deviated septum my whole life, and I had never used nose strips before. And I was like, okay, let me test this out. Let me tell you, the first time I put a nose strip on my nose before I went to bed was the first deep breath I've ever taken in my entire life. I wish I could wear one of these all the time, but unfortunately for that, you need a nose job, and I am not doing that at the moment. So, you know, it's fine. They're also great to wear when you're sick. I tried that the last time I was sick, and it really helped a lot, but I cannot tell you how much these have changed my life. Like, it helps my quality of sleep. It helps so many different things that I wasn't even noticing how miserable I was. I mean, I kind of was, because I would try to fall asleep and I'd be like it was awful. And this just gives me the ability to be able to take a nice deep breath through my nose before I go to sleep, and it's incredible. This is the large strips. I will say the one that I used most recently before I repurchased this one was a pack from Costco, and they were a little bit thicker and a little bit shorter, and I kind of liked those better, but I also like these too. But they didn't have these the last time I was at Costco, so there's lots of different options. I just strongly recommend them so much. The only con that I can think of is just that it leaves a little bit of residue, like the tape leaves a little bit of residue on your nose and you kind of have to scrub that off. But like other than that, it's beautiful. It's perfect. I love it so much. I don't know how I lived before I had these, and I'm not being dramatic. Like these are one of the things that have changed my life and I'm obsessed. This next item is something that I had been thinking about and really wanting for a while, and I was just like, you know what? I don't really need that. That's kind of excessive, and like I'll just use my hands and make it work. But I recently discovered that I needed gallbladder surgery, which I had a couple of weeks ago, and I used it as an excuse to get myself the thing that I really wanted, which is a Kindle stand and remote. Let me tell you how incredible this thing is. So you put your Kindle inside of this stand. It can go underneath your furniture, it can go under your couch, under your bed. You can change it to all sorts of different heights, and you can move it closer to you, further away. It's so amazing, and you stick your Kindle inside of it. It just kind of like fits in like that. I think it fits also iPads and things. You can do horizontal, you can do vertical, and then you put this little sort of like clip on the side of your Kindle, push the button to turn it on, then you take the remote and you push the remote and it changes the freaking page for you. It's the most incredible thing ever. Like, are you joking? I have used this thing and loved it so much. I cannot believe how comfortable it is to be able to just sit back in bed, especially when I was recovering from surgery, have my book right here, just be under the covers like this and do this to change the channel, or millennial Freudian slip, what is it called? Turn the page. And I just literally love it so much. I cannot recommend it enough. I am mad at myself for not getting it sooner, honestly, and I love it. Okay, speaking of books, I'm gonna talk about a few books as well as like TV shows and games and stuff that I've been loving recently, kind of tying into the whole like current favorites thing. Even though I wasn't like influenced to buy or read all of these things, I still wanted to include it because it kind of goes in the same category, you know? These are like things that I'm really loving at the moment. I tend to love sort of like thriller, mystery, kind of crimey type of books, or like a really cheesy romance. I just really love to escape when I'm reading, and these are the books that I just fly through and have really loved. So the first one is called The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This is like a thriller mystery style book about a group of friends in their kind of, I think like mid-30s, and they've been friends for a long time. They live in England, but they visit Scotland for a big New Year's Eve kind of party getaway thing, and they're staying at this remote lodge in kind of like the middle of nowhere in Scotland, and just some really creepy things happen, and it tells you at the beginning of the book that someone dies, and so throughout you're trying to figure out who it is and how it happened, and I suspect this person, I suspect this person, and I really liked it. The ending was a little bit predictable, but I still really enjoyed the book thoroughly. And then the other one is called The Wife Upstairs. This is a book by Frida McFadden. This is a really similar book to, if you liked Verity from Colleen Hoover, I think there are similar kind of themes and stories throughout, as well as it kind of reminded me a little bit of The Last One Left by Riley Sager, but I liked this one a lot better than both of those. With Frida McFadden, I know exactly what I'm getting when I'm going into it. I know that it's gonna be like a thriller mystery. I know that it's gonna be a little bit creepy. I know that there's gonna be twists at the end, and I know it's gonna be very, very easy to read. It's just one of those page turners, and so I just love a Frida McFadden book, and definitely recommend this one if you have also flown through a lot of her books and are looking for a different one. The next one is called None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. She's become one of my favorite authors recently because she writes these sort of like mystery thrillers, but they're based in the UK, which I really, really love. It makes me feel like I'm watching one of my like crime shows, and there's just a lot of like emotion behind a lot of the books. There's the three that I've read, like a daughter that goes missing, another daughter that goes missing. It's kind of like that type of vibe, and it's really, really good. I really liked this one. I think this was probably my favorite of the three books that I've read of hers. So this book is about two women who meet and discover that they have the same birthday. One of the women has a podcast. The other one feels like she's kind of behind in life and is just kind of enamored and obsessed with this woman that has the podcast. And so the woman that has the podcast makes a podcast about her birthday twin, and then it becomes this kind of creepy, enmeshed, stalkery kind of vibe, but I really liked it. So I would definitely recommend that one. And then if you're not into thrillers and you're into the more kind of like cheesy romance, two books that I have just like inhaled recently are Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and the first one is called Every Summer After, the second one is called One Golden Summer, and I loved both of these. I'm actually finishing One Golden Summer right now, but by the time this video goes up, it'll be finished and I'll love it. I've already enjoyed it. I love it so much. And the first one is kind of like a love story between these kids who meet when they're like younger and then throughout their life as they enter their 30s. It takes place in like a lake town outside of Toronto in Canada, and I think it's called Barry's Bay. It's really cute. And then the second book I liked even better because they're just adults the whole time, and it's the brother from the first book and then this new girl, and they meet, and this is like about their story of falling in love, and it's just really cute. It really got me. It's very Lifetime movie vibes, but like in the best way, and I think it's now being made into a series, at least the first book is, so I'm excited to watch that. But yeah, definitely recommend both of those if you're also loving like the romance, cheesy, like slightly spiced. I would say like it's like a 1.5 out of 5 stars on the spice scale, but still super cute. Next, for a couple of video games, one thing about me is I will be on my Switch. I will be on my Switch playing my cozy games, or with Drew finding some sort of like team game, and just I love video games. I've gotten so much more into them as I've gotten older. I really liked them as a kid, but I've been kind of reclaiming some of my childhood hobbies, and so the first game is one that Drew and I played together, and it's called Split Fiction. If you also played It Takes Two a couple of years ago, then you will love this one because it's by the same creators, and it's two authors who, one of them writes sci-fi, one of them writes fantasy, and it kind of like blends throughout the entire game, and they're on this sort of like life-saving mission, and you play side by side the entire time, and you work together to get yourself out of trouble and fight all these things. And honestly, Drew and I had a blast playing it. We kind of skipped through most of the story parts and just played the game itself, but it was really cute. I really liked it. Also, Hello Kitty Island Adventure has become one of my favorites to play on the Switch. It's just so cute. I wouldn't call it a cozy game. I am not of the belief that games like Disney Dreamlight Valley, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Animal Crossing New Horizons, etc. are cozy, because they stress me out. If I have a list of things that I need to do, if I have chores that I need to do, I'm stressing. Okay, so I do like to play it, but sometimes it stresses me out because there are so many things to do that I'm like, it's too much. But I do really like that game and strongly recommend it, especially if you're like a Sanrio fan. It's just so cute. And then last, but definitely not least, probably my favorite actually, is a game called Power Wash Simulator. And yeah, you heard that right. You are power washing in this game. It's my dream come true. You start off by power washing like a van, and then I think you move on to like a backyard, and then you move on to an entire house, and it's just cleansing for my brain. That's the only way I can describe it. It makes me feel how like the soap cutting ASMR videos make me feel. It's just so satisfying, and that's it. Literally the only object of the game is to power wash things. And you can just sit there and change your nozzles and power wash to your heart's content, and it's truly the best. I love it so much. I cannot recommend this enough. I will sit there in bed and hours will pass by. I'm not even like watching anything else, doing anything. I'm just power washing, and I love it so much. And then last but not least, for a few TV shows, I am just such a TV show girly. I am much more, for some reason, able to watch like 6 seasons of a TV show than one movie. It's just how my brain works. I can't help it. But here are a few shows that Drew and I have watched in the last like month or two that I've really enjoyed. The first one is Overcompensating. This is on Amazon. It's so cute. I am a big Benito Skinner fan. I love Mary Beth Baroni. I just love them both together. I think that their dynamic as friends and like the clips that I see from their podcasts and stuff make me laugh out loud, and that's very rare. And this show was just so cute. It's about a young guy going to college and discovering his sexuality and trying to come to terms with it and trying to be out for the first time, and it's messy and it's cute and it's sweet and it's funny and it's cheesy, and it's exactly what I wanted when I watched it. So I would strongly recommend that one. Also, The Bear, the most recent season of The Bear, which is on FX by the way, or on Hulu, it was so good. I cried in almost every single episode of this newest season. It's just an unmatched show. I love that cast so much. I love the ensemble of all of them together. It's a show about a really bougie New York City chef who moves back home to his hometown in Chicago and helps his brother run his restaurant after he dies. And there's a lot of really kind of complicated, it's very stressful, especially if you've worked in a restaurant in the past. It's very stressful. It can be triggering at times, but it is just a remarkable show. It's so good, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's raw, it's real, it's heartfelt, It's all of the good things and I love it. The newest season of Squid Game came out and we inhaled it like all in one sitting pretty much, maybe two. It was just so good. I fell in love with so many of the characters, maybe even more so than the season 1 characters. Like I just loved these characters so much and I cried. I was sitting at the edge of my seat the entire time. I think the premise of the show is very like tense and gory and gruesome, but I think that's kind of the point. It's definitely like a metaphor for capitalism and what we won't do for money, which is like nothing. And it's really, I really hate the like premise because of what it is, but I also think it's a really powerful show and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. It wasn't exactly the satisfying ending that I was looking for, but I still strongly recommend it. And then last but not least is a new show. This is, I think, only recently come out, but we just watched it for the first time on Netflix and it's called Department Q. This is a show about a prosecutor in Scotland who goes missing and the hunt for her and trying to find her and her life and her mistakes and what she's done. And these two officers that are looking for her are like a really amazing duo. I really liked the characters so much. There's a lot. There's so much story compacted into these, what, like 9 episodes or something like that. I do feel like it could have been like 4 or 5 episodes. There was a lot of info, but it was intense. I did not expect it. I really loved the cast. I really loved pretty much every single character. The acting was great. The story was like, there's a lot of story, but it was very satisfying and they kind of left it open-ended. I think they're sort of setting up for a season 2, which I'm hoping for, fingers crossed. But yeah, I really recommend that if you're into the sort of like British or Scottish crime drama. I thought it was really great. And it really took me by surprise. I wasn't sure how I was feeling about it at the beginning, but then by the end I was like, oh, I'm obsessed. So yeah, that is all of my current favorites and or things that I was influenced to buy, watch, read, etc. that I have really been loving and I think are really worth the hype. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also turn on my post notifications if you want to be notified every time I post a new video. If you want to see more videos like this or if you want to see another de-influencing video, let me know in the comments below or let me know any video suggestions you may have down there. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you all of my love and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.